was great.
Awesome.
Now, a lot of the information as well, I know some of the questions were about what other animals are on that list. I don't know that list. I did reach out to Arizona Fish and Game, and they have a list apparently through the Secretary of State, and I'm trying to get that link so I can push it out to you guys as well. Thursday morning, we're working on some follow-up with the baby tiger cub so that we can try to figure out where the cub's going to go, what kind of, if it's going to a zoo. On Thursday morning.
You're going to do what?
We're going to send our social media team to wherever they're planning on meeting up with the tiger cub, because we want to continue the story and say, okay, well, this is where the tiger cub is now. This is where it's going. A couple weeks afterwards, maybe going there and saying, hey, this is what the tiger cub's up to now. It's one of those things that we want to continue it, and we're curious just as much as you guys are.
Want to go with that?
Yeah.
Is there any chance you guys might have the video without the PD logo stuff?
So not that one. We have body camera. That was taken from a city cell phone.
Yeah.
So we're going to work on that, and we're working on the body camera, but we need to redact that, and that's the problem, is redacting the...
5 o'clock.
No.
But at
Anything
least
else
today.
before 5?
I can try to get the actual full video without the police logos and all the stuff on it.
My report's for 8, 9, and 10, so do we think we can get the body cam by then?
No, because, well, that's something that all the face... I never knew that, but the redaction aspect is very long. I'm going to talk to my boss to see if we even need to do redaction and have officer faces, or if we can just have the tiger cub itself. Yeah.
Even if there's just a
And
clip.
Ryan's on vacation too, which is brutal for this, right?
Yeah.
If there even is
Because
a clip.
this is his thing right here, yeah.
If there's even like 30 seconds.
I was going to say like a short clip.
So I'm going to try to do that with the body camera of just the officer going into the, it's actually
In that
the
room, into the closet.
closet. There you go. It's a closet that connected to the master bathroom,
Yes.
and try to get
That
just
would be
that part
awesome,
of it.
even if it's just short.
So I wasn't aware that redaction is actually
is.
a long
It is.
process to get on the face. So I see Glendale's redaction, they just do a huge square
Yeah, we don't
redaction
love
blur, and I'm
that
like,
either.
what is this?
Can I get a white off you? You can just step right next to me.
Okay. Is that weird though? If they're going to be over there? Okay, well, we'll just walk
Well,
around.
you know
It
what?
only affects our camera.
Hey, if they talk to you, just look at her.
We're all standing on this side.
I have a
We agree
bad
we're gonna
problem
be on
going
this
back
side,
and forth,
actually.
so.
Yeah, just look at her so you so no one gets your ear.
Is it with Arizona Game and Fish? Because they said, Arizona Game and Fish said that they don't take tiger cubs.
So that's who we released the tiger cub into their custody, and they were able to house it with a third party.
Oh, so we don't know who
I don't know who. That's what we're trying to do follow up on Thursday for, is finding out where that tiger cub is and what the plans are for
But
it.
you physically gave the cub to Arizona Game and Fish.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
because they said they don't have it. But that
And they might be
US
saying
Fish
that they
and
don't have it currently. They were able to give it to a third party or somebody
Wildlife.
else.
One more white balance,
It's one of
please.
those semantics.
Exactly. Exactly. We don't have them right now. We did have them, but not right now or something.
Thank you.
And you don't know who that third party is because
No. And that's what we're working out
they're
for
not
Thursday.
releasing that third party.
Exactly. And I'm going to get with my supervisor and find out if this is something that we want to try to invite all of you to as well on Thursday morning, or we'll find out the information on Thursday morning and then send out a press opportunity for Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, and see if you guys wanted to kind of do a follow-up and maybe even ask questions to whoever has custody of the tiger.
If you want to make that
that would be
exclusive
great.
with us, that'd be great.
Just 3 people here, so
Just to these people.
We go whenever if
You
you're
guys
all
good?
ready.
Everybody good? Okay, well, if you start by saying spelling first and last
of
name and your
course.
title.
It's Sergeant Brian Bauer, spelled B-R-I-A-N. Last name is Bauer, B-O-W-E-R. I am a sergeant with the Phoenix Police Department with the Public Affairs Bureau.
Why don't we start with the investigation side of this, how we even got to the point to where an arrest was made, and we'll start with just the basics and go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So January 23rd is when this all happened. It's January 23rd, approximately 8:30 p.m. Officers found out or learned about a social media post where somebody was trying to sell a baby tiger cub. They kind of went with this. This is all patrol officers that were acting as kind of a semi-net squad with the Desert Horizon Precinct. These officers did a phenomenal job, not just getting the information, but being able to take that information and continue through this investigation. They were able to identify who's selling the tiger. They were able to work with that individual, get an address of where the tiger was, and they were able to overall do a search warrant on that property where they located the tiger, as well as several other animals of concern.
And where was the tiger found? What other animals were found on the grounds, and where?
Yeah, so the tiger specifically was in a very small cage, kind of a cage that you would find as a dog kennel. I would say approximately 2 feet by 3 feet was the total length and width of this cage. The tiger cub was actually found in the master bedroom's closet, accessed through the bedroom or through the bedroom thing into the bathroom. So it was in the closet when the officers contacted the tiger and did that search warrant service.
What about the other animals?
The other animals, so I don't know exactly how many snapping turtles there were, but it was a large fish tank with all the baby snapping turtles in there. Also in that same tank was what was identified as an American alligator. This is just a smaller alligator. I don't know the exact sizes or how old these animals are, but it was small enough to all fit in the same aquarium.
Were they surprised to find other animals aside from this baby tiger?
Yes, so some of the body camera that I watched of the officers when they were doing that search warrant, you could hear the tiger in the background moaning. You can hear that something wasn't normal. This isn't a case that officers go to every day. This isn't a case that officers go to even within their career. So to have a baby tiger cub inside of a residential house in Phoenix, it definitely caught everybody by awe. And then to follow up with an alligator and snapping turtle, it's not something that you see every day or even amongst your career. Here in Arizona, that is. Obviously, Florida might be a little different circumstances, but here in Arizona, it's not something that you see every day.
Tell me about the tiger. Is it okay? Did it seem healthy?
Yeah, the tiger seemed healthy. Again, I'm not a veterinarian of any sort, but from what I saw in the videos and what the community was able to see on our social media post of that baby tiger cub, it looks like it's in good health. It had a sandal inside the cage that looked like it was their chew toy. So the tiger looked like it was in good health, good spirit. Again, the tiger is with another third party right now, trying to find a forever home for this tiger, and that's something that we're going to do some follow-up come Thursday and later this week to figure out what's going to happen, the disposition of this tiger.
Do we know how old he is?
No, I don't have that information. That's definitely something that we can try to learn. Again, Thursday is when we plan on getting a lot more information, specifics about the tiger, the habitat, and the overall disposition that the tiger is going to go through.
Is there any concern that the person who allegedly this person bought it from might have any other exotic animals?
And that's part of the ongoing investigation. Just because one individual was arrested on possession of this animal doesn't necessarily mean that the investigation itself is done. We're still going to have detectives that do follow-up, try to identify who originally sold the tiger. We're also going to try to figure out if there's other animals out there that need to be protected, other animals that might be in need of safe housing. So we're going to continue working with the Arizona Fish and Game to ensure safety of all animals that might still be out there.
So that was a question for sure, was that this investigation is continuing into where this tiger came from and like maybe how deep that goes?
Absolutely. We're going to continue digging in on the Phoenix police side, but we're also going to be reaching out with our partners with the Arizona Fish and Game as well as Maricopa County just to try to find out if there is any other animals out there and if we can get a hold of those animals before they go on the general public and then possibly cause danger to society in general.
Has he been cooperative on those questions where he obtained the tiger?
So initially he wasn't, the suspect, Carlos, wasn't being as what we saw as completely honest, but that's another thing that detectives will do a thorough investigation. They're going to probably do other search warrants on the social media aspect and see if there was a connection with him and another person that might be selling these exotic animals.
Anyone else living in that house?
Not that we know of. Again, this is still an active investigation, so we're still looking into who's all lives there, who might be on the lease, who might be on any kind of documentation for that particular house.
Did any neighbors say that you've had, I know it's still very early on in the investigation, say they heard a tiger in the backyard? Because there's videos apparently of the tiger in the backyard, right?
Yeah, there are some videos. I haven't seen those videos. I'm not aware of where those videos exist, but yes, I did hear that there's videos of the tiger in the backyard playing around. As far as neighbors go, I don't have any reports of neighbors observing any tigers or hearing anything suspicious. So that's still under investigation, something that detectives are looking into.
So exactly how was it that it was brought to the department's attention? Was it somebody that was scrolling and happened to come across this, or was it somebody that sent the tip to the department and was like, hey, you guys should probably go investigate this?
Yeah, so it was somebody who sent a tip, and it was through the work from these officers that took that tip and were able to look into the social media post and realize that this is a legitimate post, that this was a person of interest that was actively trying to sell a tiger cub, and that it came to or through fruition that there was a tiger cub, and we were able to seize the tiger and ensure its safety.
Did all that happen yesterday, or how long was that process back and forth trying to negotiate? I think it was a price down like $5,000. Do you know how long that investigation or going back and forth was?
Yes, that all happened throughout the day of yesterday and into this morning.
So yesterday you guys got the tip, and then
Exactly.
undercover cops did the
Yeah,
exchange?
well, again, these are officers. These are our street officers that worked with their supervisor, with the chain of command that authorized to go throughout the steps and to see if this is a legitimate thing. It's one of those things that, again, we don't see tigers, we don't see exotic animals such as tigers every day. So it was one of those suspicious things of, is this real? Let's find out with patrol officers if this is something that's actually credible and if this is real. And if it is, let's continue through that investigation process to ensure that the safety of the animal, the safety of the people, and that the investigation results in a positive prosecution.
So just to be clear then, it was the patrol officers who were texting or messaging with the suspect, not undercover cops?
Correct. It was just patrol officers that looked in or got the tip of the social media. They were able to look into that same social media, not tip, but that same social media post of this person trying to sell the tiger. And with that information, they were able to obtain a search warrant. And from the search warrant, they were able to locate those animals.
Is there any belief that maybe he tried to sell any of these type of animals in the past?
Not right now, but because like I said, the investigation is still going. There's multiple animals that were in the house. With that investigation continuing, they're going to look into all the other social media posts in the past to see if there was going to be other animals for sale. And again, hopefully leading to the person that originally sold this tiger cub to Carlos, who in turn tried to sell it to our officers.
Can you say which social media was?
That's still under investigation at this point. We're still looking into what social media platform or if there was multiple. Hopefully by Thursday, I'll be able to have the answer for that and be able to get a better understanding of where it was.
Is there a feeling maybe going forward too? I mean, it seems like that should be flagged, right? If that's, I'm just throwing out Facebook Marketplace, it seems like tiger for sale is something that should be flagged as illegal, right?
I haven't seen Facebook Marketplace myself, so I don't know what other exotic animals or random things. Like I said, it's not every day that we see a tiger. So the whole purpose of the patrol taking lead on this was to identify if this was a legitimate sale or if this was a legitimate crime. So happens it came to fruition and it was a tiger cub. It's one of those things that probably surprised the officers just as much as it surprised that supervisor taking lead.
Just give us some perspective here on this. We're kind of all a little bit like surprised and laughing a little bit about all of this, but this is a big deal, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a big deal. These are felony charges. There's a felony and a misdemeanor charge that was charged on Carlos. So these are big deals. This isn't just a misdemeanor slap on the wrist and be done. This is definitely something that we're going to continue investigating, trying to find out who's all related and to see if there's a bigger supply chain than just this single tiger cub.
Like a ring of some sort.
Exactly. I mean, everything at this point, with there being a tiger cub in the city of Phoenix that was offered for sale, we don't know if there's a bigger ring for exotic animals. This is definitely just the tip of the iceberg as a potential, but our detectives will look into it and want to identify if there's a larger scheme behind this.
What are these felony charges?
So I did write these felony charges down. It's through the Arizona Fish and Game. It's all under Article 17 or Section 17 of Arizona Revised Statute. The first one, which is a felony, is Arizona Statute 17-309D as in David. And that is the possession of a wild animal. I did speak with a representative from Fish and Game. The way that they explained it to me is this is just a catch-all code, that they don't have specific animals or kingdoms of animals listed on the ARS. The actual list is present in the Arizona Secretary of State's website. Which again, I'm trying to get that link so I can push it out to you guys so you could see exactly how that list is drawn up and what animals are considered protective.
So they differ between, do the charges differ between the tiger versus the alligator and the snapping turtles?
From what I understand is it's going to be the same. It all falls under that 17-309D. Now there are some animals that can be legally purchased. And that's what differentiates the illegal restricted animals versus the legal authorized animals.
Which ones were legal?
Well, that's something that we still need to look into. Obviously, the tiger cub itself is illegal, same with the American alligator. I'm not too familiar with the snapping turtle aspect of it. So again, that's something that we're going to partner with the Arizona Fish and Game to ensure the proper charges are filed. We're going to also work with the county attorney's office to make sure that any forgotten charges are added as a supplementary, and then any information that the county attorneys need to have a good, successful prosecution, we're going to help out with.
Do you know what type of tiger it was, or is?
I'm not too familiar with my tiger species. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Thank you. So, I mean, is this the first time Phoenix has ever seen a tiger at somebody's house?
I'm in the process of looking up the tigers in Phoenix. This is the first that I've heard of. I've been on for almost 15 years, and this is the first time I've heard of a tiger involved. So again, I am looking that up to see throughout the history to find out if we've been involved with something like this as well. I've been reaching out with Fish and Game to see if they have any familiarization with tigers or any kind of carnivorous animals, because that's the classification that the tiger falls under, to see if that has any other, if they had any situations, legal things throughout the past as well.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank you,
much.
that's helpful.
Thank you.
I don't have a whole lot of information. Hopefully I learn more, because we're just as curious as
I
you
just
guys.
sent you the Arizona statute on that.
Mhm.
Administrative.
Is that the 17309 or the
No, this
A?
is the list.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the Arizona Administrative Code.
That's what it is.
R12-4-406.
And do you see how it's alphabetical order from what I was
Yes.
told, but it's not in your simple generic verbiage of tiger, lions, cheetahs, tortoises, alligators. It's in its genius
You can
of
yeah.
okay,
Yeah, you can surmise
Or you can-
what they're saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
reptilian, and it has all the different
It's real jargony.
Wow.
real fast.